Shristi was a fusion trio from Kathmandu, formed around the mid-90s by three talented musicians: Parangat Moktan on tablas, Sanjay Shrestha on ethnic percussion, and Ashish Sinha on guitars. The band produced 2 instrumental albums and did 2 tours in the US with the world music ensemble World Colors. Shristi is best remembered for bringing fusion music to the mainstream audiences in Nepal. They stopped performing as a band in the year 1999, but are reuniting, especially for this virtual edition of Echoes in the Valley. Shristi will be in conversation with Yubakar Raj Rajkarnikar. Yubakar is an international development and media professional, filmmaker, and film festival programmer. He's the founder of Wave, Nepal's leading English-language youth magazine, and Why, a socio-political magazine for young people, among others.
जीवन एक बाटो
Welcome everyone, Ashish, Sanjay, Parangat,
Thank you.
from across the globe. I'm in DC. Parangat, you're somewhere here.
And Albany, New York.
Albany.
Okay. And Sanjay and Ashish in Kathmandu.
I'm in DG, Washington, DG.
Huh?
Don't we get it?
Yeah. So good to catch up with you after a long time. Ashish and Parangat, Sanjay, I've met a few times, maybe a few years before and a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think last was you had done this thing with Prism Band and you're in your place in Tamil.
Yeah, House of Music, man.
Yeah, I was there with my daughter.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And your daughter also sang for us, I think. I know.
There, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. But better. I think you told me she had a very big interest in singing and music. Yeah, I remember.
She sings. She is composing her songs these days, which is.
I think I saw one of her clips in Facebook or someplace sometime back.
Yeah, you must have. So yeah, let's talk about you guys. What are you doing? I'll start with Ashish, but like anyone can jump in. Musically, are you guys making music?
Thank you. Yeah. So for me personally, I've been sort of away from music for some time, but then that doesn't mean I haven't been like playing sort of by myself or with myself. I have a small home studio set up. I've been doing, whenever time allows, some recordings here and there. But other than that, and then we've sort of been in touch with each other and always been looking out for ways of where we can perhaps get things started once again. But then in short, I've been a 9-to-5 job person for a long time now, but still with that keen interest in music.
Yeah, once a musician, always a musician, right?
Yeah.
Sanjay, I know you're doing a lot in music, right?
Yes, I think even after Shristi, I must say I've been fortunate enough to carry on with my passion in music. I know. I got invited to play with 1974 ADU, I think, which was a big thing for me. That in a way kind of changed my life. I know. So I'm still playing with them. And then I have a side project called Joint Family International, you're a reggae band, sir, which I started back in 2008. So I'm still making music with them and playing live shows with them. And besides that, aru yatauti collaborations are bhaira huncha. And since lockdown, I've become a DJ.
Oh.
Who would have thought? Right? At 43, you start a new career. So I'm loving it. So lockdown, I started just a console थियो घरमा साथीले दिएको खेल्दा खेल्दै I started loving it, and then I tried out friends को birthday party, private parties में And now I actually get invited to play in small festivals and stuff. So I'm also a DJ now. So yes, so everything I do is somehow related to music.
Who would
And
have thought? Sanjay, you don't look like a DJ kind of person.
yeah, but I mean,
There's a DJ kind of person, yeah.
yeah, I know, but I love it. I always loved electronic music. I know dance music. अनि अहिले चाहिँ I'm getting more and more into it, and for me it's actually a lot better के एक्लै डिसाइड गर्न पायो के बजाउनु मन लाग्छ पैसा पनि बाँड्नु पर्दैन फेम नेम पनि के पनि बाँड्नु पर्दैन so it's fantastic. It's a solo thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'll come back to that. So Parangat, what are you
हजुर
doing?
हजुर थ्याङ्क यू म पनि अब आशिषले भनेको जस्तै अब काम छ होइन 9 to 5 अनि म्युजिक चाहिँ मैले बिर्सेको छुइनँ तर अब त्यही घरमै बजाइन्छ अलिअलि प्र्याक्टिस गरिन्छ अनि मैले के गरेँ यो 2-3 वर्षमा भने यो यहाँ एउटा अल्बनीमा एउटा हिन्दू टेम्पल छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ एउटा च्यारिटीको लागि एउटा ब्यान्ड उनीहरूले फर्म गरेको छ अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ म गएर तबला बजाइदिन्छु
Oh,
हजुर
that's nice.
हजुर त्योभन्दा बेसी अब अरू केही त्यस्तो भएको छैन
Well, I mean, you're making music still.
हजुर
Yeah. So Sanjay, I want to come back. I mean, it's not an interview, so it's not like anyone can ask anyone. So मलाई सञ्जयलाई सोध्न मन लागेको चाहिँ एउटा अस्ति यो गर्ने भन्दाखेरि मैले यस्तो सोच्दै गर्दाखेरि मलाई सोध्न मन लागेको Shristi, was it your first band, Shristi? And then Shristi पछि then you joined 1974 कि के थियो त्यति बेला?
Yes, that I mean a professional band भनौँ न. I mean I always used to be in school bands and I played with friends. होइन तर when Ashish Dai came back from the US, Parangat Dai र हामी त भेटेर हुन्थ्यौँ होइन. And then it was actually Ashish Dai who came up with the idea that maybe it's a great idea to start a fusion band. And then I was very young. I didn't know anything about music. I was still I just finished SLC भर्खर दिएको थियो होइन 17 वर्ष पनि पुगेको थिएन होला अनि त्यहाँपछि it was my first ever band भन्नु पर्यो हजुर.
So you spend a lot of time saying 1974, you're still in 1974. So त्यो सृष्टिको experience ले चाहिँ did it in any way define I mean of course it defined you होला but did it in any way define 1974 को music?
Define भन्दा पनि influence गरेछ दाइ है because मैले भनिहालेँ नि when I was with Shristi I was very very young. खालि Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Deep Purple यस्तो मात्र सुन्थ्यो. And then when I met Ashish Dai and Parangat Dai and started playing and exploring, I got introduced to a lot of different kinds of music. I clearly remember Zakir Hussainko Shakti भन्ने band. When I was first introduced by Ashish Dai, I was blown away. Trilok Gurtu, I had never even heard. So he was the one who said, oh, if you want to become a percussionist, you should listen to this guy. And even Nepali greats like Amar Gurung, Gopalyanjanko music, so I was introduced to them by Ashish Dai and Parangat Dai. And then later on, after Shristi, I always had that inspiration, which I used to share with my band members of 1974 AD. And then there are quite a few numbers of songs of music that we've created, which has been त्यसको छिर्का परेको भनौँ न त्यति बेलाको inspiration and influence परेको music छ. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know that I was one of your biggest fans, Srishtiko, and I loved your music. I still do. I was asti ek duita clip suneपछि I wanted to listen to it more of those. So if you guys have your music, please send it to me. I want to listen to it again. Is it in YouTube or you guys have some copies because I also had a band, like if you guys remember, before even Wave, and we don't have anything. I don't have all the masters. We don't have anything like that. I have like, I'm still looking for my songs. So do you guys keep the record? Do you guys have it?
So that we just uploaded a Made in Tamil album. It's available on iTunes and Spotify and all the online streaming platforms. Ma चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ छ, हैन? And now, like, we're in the process of starting our YouTube channel and uploading all the old. We've been talking about it. Materialize चाहिँ भएको छैन.
Okay, so before that, I think we should go back a little bit, Ashish, and talk about, like, there are a lot of, I'm sure there are a lot of new young audiences for this also. So take us back a little bit and, like, tell us a bit about Shristi in short, like how this guy started, what did you guys do?
Yeah, so just adding on to what Sanjay said, this was, I think, back in late 90s, correct me if I'm wrong, eh? So that was when we thought, after I came back from the States, and then Parangat was also venturing out into tablas. And then Sanjay was always, he had a natural knack for percussions and, various sorts of percussion. So that all just came about. And I think it was like maybe mid or late 90s that we started. And I remember there was this Sajjan Smriti beat contest or whatever they used to call it. And I think that, so that was Santana Records. And so they wanted us to, I mean, I've been friends with Nirmal and all the Chabel gang for way back. So they wanted us to come and do a guest artist thing.
Is it my
connection? We wanted to bring about Nepali.
Go ahead. Ashish, we lost you for a while, but please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. You're back.
All right. I'm back. All right. So keep on. So so that was when we actually performed on stage for the very first time. I thought that was probably the Royal Academy or the City Hall. I still remember. I mean, it was very bare bones, about acoustic instruments, a lot of focus on Nepali percussions as well as the tablas. But when we played, I don't know if it was a couple of songs, but then the youngsters were like so into it, and they were like banging their heads and all that. I mean, the groove was easily palpable for these young kids. Okay, and that was when Santana Records offered us to do an album. The whole album. And I remember Cobweb the best was our recordist. Yeah. Somewhere out in Putali Sarak Tira studio ma. Oh. And that was how we started. We did a couple of gigs, I think, in colleges and schools around town. And basically we just wanted to introduce, we wanted listeners to think out of the box, because back then it was either Sur Sudha, who was doing, traditional music, or Bhim Tuladar and Crossroads, and the pop thing was it was just happening. And we thought, okay, we want to present a different scenario for the youngsters, where, which sort of immerses our past influences of Western music, as well as the reality and the fact that we are Nepalese, born and grew up in Kathmandu, immersed into the traditional cultures of Kathmandu. So we wanted to bring that all up. And I think that was how things started. And I still remember Sunny Dai from Hits FM wanted us to have a band with the vocals in it. Okay? And I think that was when the song Jivan came about. But I also remember telling him that we want to stick to our roots and just be organic with our music, and not get into too much of like pop type cones. And we opened for the It's FM thing also, and I think that was where 1974 was also there. But anyways, it was just us trying to.
What you said like you wanted to, like, stay true to your roots and your identity, your music. So how do you define your music? What is you're not Susuda, you're not pop as well. So what are you?
So Ketar Bona, I think it was a unique mix of who we were, born and brought up in Kathmandu, exposed to traditional music, as well as the reality that we were listening to a lot of Western music. Parangat and I, when we were in school, we were in rock bands, and so was Sanjay. So there was a very unique mix of the Western and the Eastern, Unsani. So we just wanted to bring that up front, and not try to mimic being a Western band, or not try to like wear a daura sural and go all like Unsani. So we were sort of a mix of the two, okay? And that was a true representation of who we are. And one thing that is very unique about Shristi, and I'm sure guys will add to this, is we created our own music. I mean, we were not like copying a dhun or a traditional music and then just playing it, we wanted to do something unique. We wanted to like sit in, and there was a lot of chemistry that happened between three of us. And though we covered some folk songs, many of our songs were truly original. I mean, that's what defines Shristi as to who we are, or what we tried to accomplish back then. Parangat, Sanjay, anything to add?
Yeah,
No,
you said it all. I mean,
yeah, I remember one particular word, besides being a fusion original band, we wanted to like have this conceptual music भन्ने को जुन त्यो idea थियो नि, which was very new in Nepal, हैन? अनि so हाम्रो चाहिँ if every song had a concept and a story behind it, yeah, even though they were all instrumental at that time. And so the conceptual भन्ने एउटा चाहिँ I still remember that idea was always there, okay? Conceptual music भन्ने चाहिँ. I'm sorry, you're saying something भन्नु न.
No, I mean आशिषले सबै अब भन्यो हैन. I mean it's a mixture between, because we grew up in a playing rock music. So after we met Ashish, after he came back from the US, so we had a different concept, and I got an opportunity to learn tabla too. So we just merged and created something new. But all the credit goes to Ashish, because he composed all those songs, everything.
Okay, but
I mean, yeah, that's true, because it was all your ideas, and I know. So
I'm humble, Wastad, but it's three of us that made the chemistry,
Yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like after that, something new came up,
Yeah,
something new happened. So.
Yeah. I think we also need to give credit to the fact that, and just lay out the scenario back then. Like the FM stations were just happening, and then we have transitioned from Radio Nepal to FM stations, and that was the time when Wave magazine also just came up. So Wave was also, because Yubakar is here, and I don't know how much of acknowledgement were there, but I think all three of us are very thankful to you, because you took some risks back then of organizing shows for us, and that was at a time where I mean, out of the box kind of music was not the mainstreamy, but still you guys thought, okay, we need to give this a shot. So, Yubakar, your new media and Wave, we organized a show in the city hall, and we had some recordings of that. Ooh, another. Unfortunately, most of them, at least Mirawada to Horayo. But I have like one song, Darjeeling, which is on the YouTube. But there were other ooh also, and we tried doing Mission Impossible and all that,
Yes.
and
Yep.
I think Little still has that ooh. But I still remember the sort of feedback we got from the crowd. We were not sure how many people would turn up for the show, and all of that. But still, very thankful to you, Yubakar, and your team that we stuck through it, and some of those.
Yeah, I mean, at Wave, like
Yes.
we after we managed to be the magazine that people loved, we tried to do this kind of things that we wanted to do. Like first, like we created a magazine that they wanted, and then also try to do the kind of things that we wanted to do, take some risk at times. I'll also let everyone speak, but I just wanted to also like add to what I was just saying. Like there was a time FM also came, and Wave was there, and overall music, I think Nepali pop music was it still is trying to find itself, trying to define itself, trying growing. But at the time, it was, I think, taking a little bit of speed in terms of growing. There were a lot of music production companies that were coming up at the time, producing cassettes at the time. It's mostly pop, right? So you guys were not pop. So what kind of struggle did you guys have to face in that particular sense? Like you're not pop, but trying to make it as a band in this pop dominated scene. To anyone?
Sanjay?
Oh, I mean, for me, I remember like I was just early हुन्छ नि, the whole music scene has changed. Okay, I'm still very actively involved in the music industry नि अहिले होइन. So 25 years ago when Shristi was active, and now it's changed completely. Like for example, we used to have these day concerts. I know Saturday Russian Culture Center we used to organize a concert for 300 people. अहिले त्यस्तो कन्सर्टै हुँदैन क्या होइन. It's either like a concert in a field which is sponsored by alcohol companies because you need the money होइन to make it happen. त्यो जुन पहिला त्यो, so those days when those concerts were being organized by Wave, and I think we also were very actively involved. We were kind of, I remember being scared or worried मान्छे आउँछ कि आउँदैन, 300 जनाको मान्छे त्यो पनि क्या. अनि त्यति बेला कति 200-300 रुपियाँ हुन्थ्यो टिकट. एन्ड फर दोज डेज 300 रुपियाँ कन्सर्टको टिकट भनेको महँगो थियो होइन. सो त्यो चाहिँ आई रिमेम्बर. तर फर मी, इफ यु आस्क मी पर्सनली, आई वाज सो यङ एन्ड आई वाज लाइक so much into what I was doing. Everything was so new, the whole experience, and I actually didn't think about all this stuff. I was just like immersed in the whole thing, and I was enjoying myself and learning so much, you know. So more चाहिँ I don't remember as a band. Yes, अघि हुन्छ नि, times are different. I mean, we were not sure how would we be taken, I know. But for me personally, or everybody like guitar बजाउने, electric guitar बजाउने singer मात्र cool हुन्थ्यो होइन. म चाहिँ मादल ढोलक बजाउँथ्यो होइन. I thought that was cool. Yeah, different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the comparisons. Like I also had a band. I said, as I mentioned, we had a band called Spurs. We were like one of the first bands after Influence. We were there. So when we were doing music, we always we were a pop band, but at least when we were talking, we always did whatever we wanted to do in terms of the lyrics, in terms of the kind of music, and that's why we were never popular at like that. Like we did come up with like 4 albums, all of them in-laws.
Ah,
We were never Sanjay Shrestha or Navin Bhatt, right?
you
But
should revive them, man.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, we tried. So but in comparison, when I did Wave, my approach was what the people would want. Like I did my own research and thinking, and in the group also we thought about like what the name should be. What would be the easier name for people to pronounce? It's English, but easier should be easier for the people who are not so well versed in English. So that thought process was there. How do we make it popular?
Mm.
In that sense, I, I did not take that much risk in terms of doing Wave. I mean, it was risk because it is new one, fresh one, and all that.
Sure.
But you guys did whatever you wanted to do, like the kind of music
Yeah.
you wanted out.
Yeah. Just to add to what Sanjay was saying, when I went to the States to do my higher education or whatever, I was like thoroughly into rock music, and being a left-handed guitarist, I mean, Mr. Hendrix was always the one to look up to. And then when I went to the States, I was like trying to impress people, playing left-handed, like Jimi Hendrix and all that. But the sort of reception that I got, I was playing in college bands and all. They were like, yeah, okay, good, Hendrix, but play your own thing, man, was sort of the response I got. Yeah. Rather than trying to copy somebody, why don't you just do your own thing? And you don't have to like sing Western songs. I mean, you just present who you are, with the skills you got. And that was sort of like it was a changing moment for me to see, okay, who am I? What sort of influence do I have? Mero roots se kya hota? So that sort of led me to okay, yeah, cover tunes, fine, wonderful. You sometimes like weekends now you sing Eagles ko gitaru, but I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life doing cover songs or trying to be like Hendrix or whatever, So that principle or that thinking sort of, made me choose a path on which I wanted to do my music. And it has been the case ever since, like till now, I want to reflect with my music. I think somebody kulle bhannu bhayeko re, there is manoranjan re and there is atmaranjan re ke. So I prefer the latter. So music is something that you create that gives immense joy, that you feel very original when you're a part of it. And I think that was what Shristi, because we were very new, and as you said, Bakkare recording studios were coming up, and everything was new. The CD compact discs for Nekura was like a luxury for us. Ami Sual Music Magara, we used to buy those blank CDs to burn our things. So few moment, we just said, okay, let's stick to, organic as to what we want to do, something different, something that represents the influences that we have, as well as the instruments we play. And just go out there and not give a damn about whether we make it to the Hits FM top 10 or whatever, Coca-Cola ko Naya Saugat and all of that wonderful stuff. I think we did make it to there, but we just wanted to do something where we want to have fun, go out there and do it. And thanks to you guys also, and the whole sin about respecting the sort of presentation that we were coming up with. I think that was a wonderful period for us, that we got to do what we love to do, like something like what Wave Magazine was doing. We just, those times were for experiments and bold experiments and just coming up, not worrying about whether there's budgets and suddenly if we are getting some corporate sponsorship, none of that. We just wanted to do our own thing,
Yeah. So I agree. Like there were like few groups and institutions like Wave and Hits FM, and there were others who did things in a slightly different way and not just follow the trend, and did help the music industry, I think, at the time. I want to also now ask Parangat there, that we're talking about, like, oh yeah, Ashish was talking about के भन्छ, your kind of music and staying true to the music. And that's something that I also realize in a lot of bands and musicians, when they continue doing their music, sometimes, like sometimes when a band comes up with an album, I say, like, this doesn't sound like this band, it has to sound like that. They're not staying true. It has happened when I listen to music. I feel that happens with not just Nepali bands, other bands also. Also, sometimes that happens. Like, they're not being able to, you know, create their identity as such. That I realize with a lot of Nepali, like for example, even with Kutumba earlier, like it felt to me like they were always trying to struggle to find their own kind of music, own identity, their own signature, and then later on they did that. So maybe you guys were able to maintain your identity and be able to true to what you are, because you're not there for a long time, you're just there for a shorter time.
Short time, yes.
Yeah. So Parno, do you think that's there, and would you have been like able to continue that if you had been like doing music?
Yes, I think. Yeah, I mean, whatever we created, like that's what we grew up with. Like we mixed all the rock music and little bit classical, and then our own folk music in our songs. Like, I mean, which Ashish like composed. So I think we are really happy about it because we got to do everything in one. I mean, what do you call that? Route. So I think, yeah, we are happy.
Yeah.
And
do you think you'd have been able to do keep it going, keep maintaining your identity in music if you had done it longer?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Please, Parangat, please.
Go ahead.
I'll add in after you.
No, I mean, I was just trying to say, like, that's what we love to do. And those musics we love, we cherish. That's why we can keep on going with that. Idea.
And just to add to Parangat, we're very happy to see Sanjay continuing on, with stuff that we wanted to do, and he's been keeping that lead. I just wanted to give a shout out to Kiran Shrestha, because he was also there with Kantipur FM. Due justice needs to go there, because he was also like trying to, support the type of music that we were doing. And it's fantastic that he's, so he's doing the Paleti thing, which is still unique to the current thing. But I just, sometimes I felt maybe Shristi came a bit earlier to the Nepali music scene.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Because I mean, things were starting up, but then, like Yubakar was saying, we had limited gas on our tanks, and we did all what we could do. And we're very thankful to the media, and we just talked about Wave and a couple of folks who were around us, and they supported us. But then everything was sort of very concentrated to Nepal, and all of us, I guess, had limited gas on our tanks, so we did the best we could, and then we ran out of gas, and then some of us tried to continue with our music. I want to bring up three particular incidents that sort of didn't happen to our benefit, but I'm still thankful that we got exposed in that in that light. First was we opened the show for Donovan in Kathmandu, and Donovan, is somebody who has played with John Lennon. He's been in the same apartment with him. He's been with the greats. So at least, we were fortunate enough to have jammed up with him. And then we did one song with him in Club Himalaya. No, sorry, not Club. The club itself, in
Oh,
It was
Balpata.
in Bhatpati, होइन?
Bhatpatiniको club.
Yeah, so we did open up for him, and then we had some technical gurbaris, as was the norm back then. And then we couldn't finalize the rest of the with him. Okay. And we were supposed to do one song together with Donovan, which didn't happen because of the technical garbadi. And then we met him on our way out to US on a tour. Right? We met him at the airport, and word had it that he was very interested to take us for an international tour with him. And then we were trying to get in touch with Donovan, but that didn't happen. Case number 2 was we met with the sound person of the band called Mountain in a pub in New Jersey where we were playing. And it was very funny. The guy forgot to bring his chosmas, and he was like pissed off with the fact that he didn't bring his chosmas, but he was very happy to see these brown folks on the stage doing their thing with weird instruments, and there was a lot of folks out there. I mean, we could see that he enjoyed the music, but then we just couldn't connect with him. The third was David Letterman ko keyboardist Paul Schaeffer. So there was this friend of ours who was a bartender in a pub somewhere in New York, New York City. And he had actually put on this Made in Tamil CD race, okay? And actually Paul Schaeffer asked him on who these guys were. That was what he told us. And then that was that. And he tried to give him the CD, okay? So there were like these 3 near hits, but I mean, something that didn't materialize, but still I'm very like happy just to reminiscence, and if there was internet and this and that, and the digital platform and the sort of connections and exposures that the bands nowadays have with the global they get to tour. There's Nepali diaspora all over the place. They're getting invited and this and that. That was not the case back then. So whatever we did, not just Shristi, but the media around us, we did the best we could. And sometimes, you sort of regret maybe we were like too early for the whole thing. But then, I personally, I'm happy. I don't want to brag about it or, tell others, I don't know. I mean, but I'm just happy with what we did, and sometimes with 3 of us.
Why won't you brag about it?
I don't know. I don't want to be like the old Gafare Dai. I don't know.
So, Sanjay, I want to get your word in this. Like, you've been part of 1974 as well, and 1974 has existed for a long time, and like some members broke out. You guys brought in other members, singers, and then again you're back now, reunion. I mean, there are a lot of question could be there, but my question right now is and how so let's talk about Shristi. Do you think it's like it's important to like keep existing as a band once you start, like I've seen like other bands, I don't want to name them, but नाम मात्र राखेर भए पनि मेम्बर सबै चेन्ज भइसक्यो हुन्छ, नाम मात्र राखेर एक्लैले पनि त्यो नाम लिएर बोकेर हिँडिरहेको हुन्छ, आफ्नो नामको पछाडि त्यो ब्यान्डको नाम पनि राखेको हुन्छ, even if the band doesn't exist, हैन? So how important for band to like keep existing, and like is it okay to like just say like, okay, we did whatever we could, that's it?
I think it comes back to the earlier topic we were talking about, okay? I know एउटा चाहिँ we human being, we evolve every single second, every single day of our lives, you know. I mean, we're very like our nature is to. So I think mere personal belief saying, as long as it comes naturally, yes, I know. So if the desire to do or continue doing what you're doing, and if that makes you अघि चन्दन दाइले भन्नु आशिष दाइले भन्नुभयो जस्तै मनोरञ्जन मात्रै नभएर आत्मरञ्जन म म म चाहिँ I like मनोरञ्जन also and आत्मरञ्जन पनि क्या सकेसम्म दुईटै अचिभ गर्न सक्यो भने आई थिङ्क द्याट्स द अल्टिमेट ऊ होइन हो आत्मरञ्जन मात्रै गर्न सक्यो भने फ्यान्टास्टिक तर मनोरञ्जन पनि आत्मरञ्जन पनि गर्न सक्यो भने सो एज लङ एज आई थिङ्क what your aim is, why are you doing this? Sometimes it's very important to stop and ask रहेछ के दाइ किन गरिरहेछ होइन पैसाको लागि गरिरहेको हो कि नामको लागि गरिरहेको हो कि आत्मरञ्जनको लागि गरिरहेको हो कि are you doing it because there's a pressure? So there are many reasons नि होइन सो मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने त नेचुरली गर्ने डिजायर भएसम्म चाहिँ यस अनि अब 1974-80 को कुरा निक्लिहाल्यो यस I've been with the band since 2000 होइन सृष्टि 1999 सम्म थियो 2000 मा मैले जोइन गरेँ so I've been with the band for the last 22 years धेरै अप एन्ड डाउन भयो होइन त्यो बिचमा एउटा पोइन्टमा चाहिँ अब when you become so famous एउटा त्यो लेगेसी चाहिँ सकेसम्म कन्टिन्यू गरौँ न भन्ने चाहिँ त्यो एउटा चाहिँ हुँदो रहेछ क्या एन्ड आई थिङ्क द्याट इज एक्ज्याक्टली वाट ह्यापन अब अहिले सोचेर हेर्दाखेरि we even talk about it I'm just sharing this openly होइन we could have just stopped किनभने निराकर दाइ मनोज र म मात्रै थियो नि एउटा पोइन्टमा गएर होइन we could have just said okay forget about it let's go our own way take a break भने हुन्थ्यो तर त्यो भित्र एकदम त्यो हामीलाई एकदम उ गरिराख्यो क्या कुदकुत्याइराख्यो भनौँ न so we couldn't just sit still and we used to meet and talk and होइन किनकि गर्नु अब यत्रो वर्ष गरेको लेट्स गिभ इट वन पुश भनेर चाहिँ एन्ड देन फेरि त्यति बेला ठ्याक्क अरू भाइहरू पनि त्यो ऊ पनि मिल्यो क्या सो we carried on we continued बजायो and it was a fantastic time also because that was एकदम different experience भनौँ न होइन so मलाई चाहिँ त्यही to answer your question briefly naturally I somewhat as long as you're happy doing what you're doing why not भन्ने जस्तो मात्र लाग्छ क्या दाइ तर अब जबरजस्ती हुन थाल्यो अलिकति you can feel it नि होइन you can lie to the world but you can never lie to yourself होइन so अलि जबरजस्ती हुन थाल्यो भने चाहिँ I think it's best to just maybe we should stop भन्ने त्यो चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ क्या
Parangat, any thoughts on this?
हजुर सञ्जयले भनेको ठिक हो एकदमै you cannot push yourself if you don't like it होइन त्यही हो कुरा चाहिँ but as long as it makes you happy and we're all together we can do anything.
So when is the time, when is the moment that you guys decided that that's it, like अब सृष्टिको यति हो भनेर चाहिँ रोक्यो नि कहिले सृष्टि why when was that moment, why did you decide that?
I think we actually, for me, we never decided to go like professionally because this is what we like to do, like hobby. And then we joined together, we did something happened. I mean, that's what about it. That's about it. I mean, we never thought like we're going to go professionally. यसमै जाने म्युजिक बजाउने I mean we're going to do earnings त्यो कहिले नै हामीले सोचेन we just I mean because we went with Ashish's ideas and we loved it and we tried different things something good happened and त्यही बाटोमा जाँदा चाहिँ यस्तो अब but I never feel like I stopped because we have to do what we have to do in our lives होइन तर अब अहिले आएर अब यो हामीले यो प्रोग्राममा भाग लिनु पाउँदा खुसी लागेको छ तर I don't know अब after this something will happen. So
So
we were never. Yep.
yeah, Parangat, go
Sorry.
ahead.
So I don't feel like we were never like separated.
Yeah.
So Ashish, okay, you mentioned a little bit about sometimes regret films. So what is like, do you regret forming Shristi or do you regret stopping Shristi? Or when did you like decide, okay, that's it? Do you regret that?
Yeah, the regret part is for the fact that I think we created some very good, beautiful music. Three youngsters with very limited professional experiences, and with whatever facilities that we had back then. We went all for it. There was no programmed keyboard, additional reinforcements. Everything was played by our own hands. And I just wish that there was a larger audience to actually appreciate it. Okay? I think I was talking with the guys like earlier, and we were saying the rhythm section of Parangat and Sanjay. I listened to it still. Like, for example, Mr. Hangover, which we're playing for this particular thing. The rhythm section is so tight, yeah. And there was no I'm not sure about metronomes, because we thought of doing it like organic, and there were no gurus for us. There were no like teachers to tell us, okay, how to set up the rhythm sections. But I still get some goosebumps when I listen to it, and I'm just focusing on Parangat and Sanjay. Okay? And the thing is so tight. Imagine, back then how the recording scenario was. Very limited gears. We used to travel on tempos, and not the kalo tempo ma पहिला चाहिँ एक प्लेट मोमो चाहिँ नि झोल मोमो खाएर माथि गएर रेकर्ड गरेर. So that is precious for me. And I just, and then now I listen to music, and with all due respect, everything is like so perfect, manicured, everything is so manicured. Okay? So I just wished, like, and that was when I was, the regret part is, maybe हामीले अघि पारङ्गतले भने जस्तो हामीसँग त्यो ग्यास ट्याङ्कमा धेरै थिएन. We didn't go long term. There was nobody telling us to pace yourself or monetary hisapma pani. I mean, the concerts where we did, actually we earned nothing. I mean, this matter organizers also were in loss, to which you also were part of that. Sorry about that. But then monetary support and this and that was not there. No, I mean, we did all that we could, but I still think the music that we did was very precious. And the regret I have is त्यो music चाहिँ अझै larger audience ले सुन्नु पाएको भए हैन. अनि त्यो originality को पछाडी हैन, if people could just like listen and see what is happening, like I look at the YouTube को अहिलेको त्यो viewer retention भन्ने नै छैन नि त अहिले त. You listen for 5 seconds and then you're like, हैन. But हाम्रो music was different. We were trying to engage people. We had concepts. And I just thought maybe we came like a bit earlier. So त्यो regret, just we had beautiful music and wish there was a lot of audience. So that's the regret part.
Yeah. So all three of you, like a question, say, what's your best Shristi song? And can you share any stories, moments from Shristi days with that song, or just like any memories that you can share?
Guys.
मलाई चाहिँ I love that piece called Darjeeling. I remember when Ashish came up with the idea and the melody and the initial idea for the song, त्यहाँपछि त्यसलाई हामीले पछि डेभलप गर्यौँ अनि एउटा इन्सिडेन्ट मलाई एकदम राम्रो याद छ कि एन्ड देन त्यसैको हो अघि आशिष दाइले भन्थ्यो लाइभ रेकर्डिङ छ वी नेभर रेकर्डेड द्याट सङ इन अ स्टुडियो होइन स्टुडियो रेकर्डिङै छैन त्यसको लाइभ रेकर्डिङ छ अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ बिचमा एउटा पार्टमा चाहिँ वी ट्राई टु एमुलेट द साउन्ड अफ त्यो दार्जिलिङको रेलको क्या होइन अनि त्यहाँ त्यो खैजडीलाई चाहिँ अनि मैले त्यो ज्याज ड्रमको ब्रसले त्यो साउन्ड इफेक्ट निकालेको त्यसरी त्यो ट्रेनलाई चाहिँ हामीले रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्न खोजेका थियौँ होइन अनि एकचोटि त्यति बेला कान्तिपुर रेडियोमा इन्टरभ्यू भइरहेको थियो हाम्रो न्यू बज्राचार्य दाइको होइन अनि त्यही अघि आशिष दाइले भने जस्तै अब त्यति बेला त हाम्रो त त्यो मेट्रोनोम भनेर त मलाई त थाहा पनि थिएन टु बी भेरी अनेस्ट है मेट्रोनोममा प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुपर्छ मेट्रोनोममा हामीले आई डोन्ट थिङ्क वी एभर रेकर्डेड एनी अफ द सङ्ग्स मेट्रोनोम राखेर क्लिक ट्र्याक राखेर गरेनौँ नि होइन सो एकदम फ्री फ्लो हुन्थ्यो अनि आई नो क्या त्यो चाहिँ लाइभमा अलिकति एक्साइटमेन्ट पनि भएर त्यो अलिकति टेम्पो गर्दा अलिकति फास्ट भएको छ कि अनि हाम्रो न्यू दाइले चाहिँ मलाई यो सृष्टि भन्ने ब्यान्डको म्युजिक चाहिँ साह्रै मनपर्छ सुने तर त्यो दार्जिलिङको रेल चाहिँ अलिक छिटो रहेछ भनेर होइन अनि त्यो न्यू दाइको एकदम डिप भोइसमा के है उसले भनेको त्यो एउटा चाहिँ आई हेभ द्याट भेरी पर्टिकुलर रिमेम्बरेन्स ही वाज आई डोन्ट थिङ्क ही वाज क्रिटिसाइजिङ आई थिङ्क ही वाज जस्ट बिङ ह्युमरस होइन सो म चाहिँ कहिले पनि बिर्सिन्ने क्या त्यो अनि त्यो एउटा गीत हो अनि मलाई त्यो ट्युन पनि इट्सेल्फ साह्रै मनपर्छ फर मी पर्सनली आई जस्ट लभ द होल कन्सेप्ट एन्ड द ट्युन एन्ड द feeling भनौँ न
Parangat?
मेरो like I like all the songs. I love all the songs, but there's one song we are going to feature. That song it's called Moicha, and I love the concept about that song, and then it's based on Newari culture. I mean I don't know. It's Ashish's creation. So he just thought about a girl with a what do we call that, gagro, walking with, and the way the girl walked, like the tzal. I love that concept. So in that song too, I try to do something like on my dogga, like the bass drum, like ding, ding. So it came spontaneously when we recorded that. So I love that song.
Yeah. Ashish?
I have no idea. All of the songs are very precious to us. I misplaced my CD and I couldn't listen to a lot of songs for many years. The song Jivan, the original recording was provided to us, to Sanjay actually, by Sunny Dai from Hits FM, which was like not even a month back, no Sanjay?
हजुर
So that goes on to tell you like Tyoti Belako recordings. So I listened to it and I was like, totally limited usma we did that. Few songs I would like to mention is one is called Symphony of Construction. And that was actually there was this
I
song
love that song too.
Megadethko Symphony of Destruction भन्ने गीत थियो हैन and there was त्यति बेला चाहिँ the young kids in bell bottom type को त्यो यत्रो pant and bandana त्यो scarf पछाडीको back pocket बाट निस्केको all macho looking हुन्छ नि and all of that and we said okay it's all has to be peace and love हुन्छ नि let's not talk about destruction, let's talk about construction. It was like a sense of humor thing, and we wanted to like reach out to those sort of we did that and I listened to this live take also after ages. It was actually very funny. The other song reminds me is a long piece called Bee Dance, and it's actually
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually a semi-classical, a classical plus and Nepali lok, all of that mashed in, and I think it's about 7 to 9 minutes long, and it's actually trying to mimic the springtime where the bees are like हुन्छ नि त्यो फुलको त्यो रस खानु अगाडिको zzz गर्ने. So that was what we were trying to emulate. And I listened to these songs very bare bones. अहिले पनि हेत्तेरी यसलाई अलिकति हामीले embellish गरेको भए कस्तो राम्रो हुन्थ्यो होला. So that is also one of my favorites. And also Made in Tamil, which चाहिँ नि अब Tamilमा जाँदाखेरि, I mean, back then when we were kids, we would hear I Shot the Sheriff, and if you go to Tamil now and go to a pub, you'll still hear that song. I Shot the Sheriff. If there's a jam up, somebody will play cocaine, I know. So that thing, who was also something that we were just experimenting. Some of our favorite tunes, let's collage just to actually try Garuna, and we'll just call it Made in Tamil, because this is something you would hear in Tamil whenever you walk in. So these are some songs, but like Parangat and Sanjay were saying, each of those have certain katha, and I still remember those days where जस्तै सञ्जयको त्यो percussionको स्ट्यान्ड हामीले कसरी बनाउने भनेर हामी चाहिँ त्यो वेल्डिङ गर्ने पसल पुलचोकमा पछाडीपट्टि गएर त्यो वेल्डिङ पसलमै गएर हुन्छ नि त्यही देखाएर मादल लगेर धिमै राखेर so everything was like हुन्छ नि हामी we tried to do things ourselves and त्यो so I don't know
yeah अहिलेको cool kids ले चाहिँ DIY भन्छ नि So we did that like 25 years ago, right? Just to add to this topic, I would really like, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank Ashish and Parangat. I mean, for a young kid like me who knew nothing about music, I know Malay, you included me, made it part of such a great project, I know, experience. मैले धेरै सिकेँ क्या. अब जस्तै अहिले बीज डान्सको कुरा गर्दाखेरि याद आयो होइन. अब त्यो इस्टर्न अब पारङ्गत दाइ उता इन्डिया गएर इलाहाबाद गएर तबला सिकेर आउनुभयो. तपाईँको ब्लड एन्ड स्वेट कति गर्नुभयो होला होइन. तपाईँले गर्दाखेरि त्यो जमानामा वेयर अब अहिले जस्तो युट्युब के पनि थिएन, म्युजिक स्कुल थिएन यहाँ होइन. तिहाई भनेको आई लर्न सो मच क्या. आलाप भनेको इस्टर्न क्लासिकलको बारेमा मैले त्यति बेला इन द्याट 2 years of playing with Shristi, the amount of knowledge I gained, I think मान्छे कहाँ गएर पढ्नु पर्छ होला के हैन. So I'm very grateful and thank you so much to both of you.
Thank you too.
मेरो त एउटा म्युजिकल करियर नै लन्च भयो के. And because I was in Shristi, हाम्रो निराकर दाइ actually noticed me and then याद गरिराखेर पछि he invited me into 1940. So there's this whole chain effect to who I am, and then I think those 2 or 3 years of Shristi plays a very, very vital role in who I am musically and personally also. So thank you so much again.
Yeah, and I still remember our practice time हुन्थ्यो हैन. अनि practice time मा चाहिँ so these guys, I mean, about तीनैजना आउँथ्यो and I'd be tuning up my stuff, and then Parangat would start like playing something, अनि त्यसबाट पनि, I mean, he was teaching us like classical usko, and there would always be jokes of Madan Krishna and Haribangsa, and so these two guys knew like most of their parodies from way back, so and then we tried to emulate that the jokes pani tabalama madalma ke gareर. So a lot of our stuff was like just sitting there अनि dalmot badam khaera, and we just like played. There was a lot of sense of humor involved, and that's how things were created. So that was very precious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, a lot of things to talk about still, but we've gone more than an hour, I think. So we need to. I was told to make it to 45 minutes, so beyond that. तर धेरै कुरा गर्न चाहिँ मन लागिरहेछ होइन तैपनि अहिलेलाई. So to sort of wrap it up, as you guys said, like Shristi might have been slightly before time, but you guys don't know अब कतिलाई इन्फ्लुएन्स सञ्जयलाई सिधै फाइदा भयो सिक्यो got opportunities in other bands, but there might be a lot of other people you guys might have influenced, encouraged, होइन त्यो धेरै गरेको होला. And you guys loved what you guys did. So is there any chance now for a reunion, or are you guys thinking about it, or doing something one time, or like maybe reviving again, or any of those in the future?
I'm thinking about going back to Nepal and try something with Ashish and Sanjay. Maybe in future. I don't know when, but after all these COVID thing sorts out, so.
Also, we haven't discussed like, oh, यस्तो गर्ने नै भनेर चाहिँ होइन. I mean, I've hinted Ashish Dai, and we've stayed in touch over the years. I'm always up for it. I know, like as a band professionally full time in Alaya to do a little bit of here and there, I would always love to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, same here. We've come of age. We've all matured. We've evolved. But one thing that is to our advantage is, you can always record stuff and share, no matter which corners of the globe you're in. So there's always this possibility of us working together, and there's been some discussion among three of us, and you see how we can move forward, given that everybody's busy in their own individual world. And it's very hard to catch up in this day and age. But I still see that hunger amongst all three of us, to at least create something new, something organic, and maybe catch up on where we left off, and perhaps do a second inning to introduce some of these music to the young kids out there. Let's see.
That's wonderful to hear. I mean, I was just reading in news the other day that how tapes are making a comeback now. The market of tapes is growing very fast. The young people are buying tapes, so the time have come back now. Shristi maybe will make a comeback now again. I hope, but I hope that you guys would still be the same Shristi, that you guys will remain true to your music, bring out the same Shristi, because I loved every single piece you guys did, and would love to hear more.
Thank you. I think a quick shout out to Echoes in the Valley and all the team involved, because they were the ones who actually approached us, and they dug up all the articles that were featured in Wave magazine way back, and they compiled them all together, and that brought a lot of memories. And I think all three of us are very thankful for Bukshan and Rizu and all the team involved for bringing us together, at least on this platform. So big thank you to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, they are doing wonderful. I was talking to Bhushan the other day, and they're doing some wonderful stuff for music. And it's there are other things that are not so great because of all this modern technology and stuff like that. But there are also a lot of young people doing a lot of good music and a lot of good things for music. And sometimes I'm amazed at the kind of quality that these young musicians and singers have.
Yeah,
amazing. It's good to see them coming up, and good to hear that you guys are thinking of doing something together again. And good to talk to you, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Yubakar.
Thank you, Yubakar Dai.
Yeah, it was good chatting up with you, after ages.
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
Bye. Allah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
हस्।
Bye-bye.